Alright, hey everybody, and welcome to something not quite normal for the channel, but I figured it was interesting when I saw it, and I've done a couple of these before, and they kind of really interest me, and I wanted to do one, and I wanted to show you guys, and hopefully get you guys to do some as well, talk about what you find. And so, this is part of the personality test. Part of the kind of the Myers-Briggs type indicator where you get your ENFPs and your ENFJ kind of deal. And this is just a free personality test, and if you're wondering, yes, I saw the Game Grumps do it, and that's what sparked me wanting to do this one myself, because it's been something I've wanted to figure out, because I always see on people's profiles or their Twitters or whatever, they'll put ENFJ or something, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I should figure out which one I am. Because I know for other things like the hero character arc, I am very much a martyr and an orphan, and if you don't know what that means, oh boy. A martyr is someone who will sacrifice themselves, and an orphan is someone who is completely driven by love. So, yeah, I'm the ultimate guy. I'm Gandalf. You know that scene from Lord of the Rings where Gandalf, he lets everybody go, and he fights off the Balrog? Yeah, that's me. That's totally me. So, this test takes about less than 12 minutes, it says. Answer honestly, even if you don't like the answer, and try not to leave neutral answers. There's actually a small little neutral button right here in the middle. We do not want to pick that at all costs. So, you find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Because these are strongly agree, strongly disagree, slightly agree, right? So I think I'll go to... slightly... Actually, well, okay, so before, right? Because remember, this is me before. I would probably say, medium or strongly agree, because I'm always terrible at approaching people. But I'm going to say slightly disagree now that I've had more time with, learning my craft and whatnot. I'm a little bit better at introducing myself, but I'm not super comfortable with it still. So I'm not strongly disagreeing that. But I can still go, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. So you often get lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. I get lost in thought. Sometimes I get lost in thought, but generally that's usually in a time where I'm okay to get lost in thought. So I'm going to go with medium disagree. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and kind of... Oh, yeah, very much agree. I can't stand having unread, unchecked emails. One of my biggest pet peeves is being I need to answer them. But I don't like typing emails on my phone, so I usually wait till I get back to my computer. You find it easy to stay relaxed even when there is some pressure. Yeah, this is really one of those things that depends on the kind of pressure. But yeah, I would say moderate agree, yeah. I'll usually probably be laughing, but it helps me deal with stuff. You do not usually initiate conversations. Ooh. This is another one, because with people I know, I talk to people I know all the time, but you do not usually... Okay, so it's you do not usually initiate conversations. Disagreeing would mean that I initiate them all the time, but I'm going to go with slightly agree. I'm not a very big conversation initiator, especially with people I don't know or people I'm not too acquainted with. So, here we go. And what do you have? You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. Actually, I'm a pretty curious person, but you rarely do something. Okay, so that means I would be slight disagree on that. There we go, because remember, the way these are phrased, right? It's you rarely do something just out of curiosity. It's well, no, I frequently, at least sometimes, I will. So we'll hit next to go on to the next one. You feel superior to other people. A little bit. Depends. It depends on who we're talking about, and the age and day, and a little bit, yeah. Sometimes, I don't go around... snatching people up or stabbing people, so I'm better than a lot of people, I suppose. I'm not leading a dictatorship, let's just say that. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable? Ooh. Being organized is more important to me? No, I'm gonna go with strongly disagree. I like being adaptable, I like being fluid, I like having my options open. You are usually highly motivated and energetic. Actually, you know what? This would be a strongly disagree, a few years ago, but ever since I got stuff in check, worked through my anxieties and my depressions and whatnot, and please, if you are going through anxiety and depression and whatnot, please seek professional help if you can. I know there's a lot of services out there. For me in Canada, I'm a little bit more, resourceful and privileged in that aspect because I can go get that sort of resource for free. But yeah, please seek out help if you need it. I did, and I feel wonderful. It's amazing. It doesn't happen overnight. It will be the most arduous task you will ever endure in your life. Trust me on that. It will be the hardest thing you'll ever do. But it's worth it. Please trust me. It's worth it. So you are usually highly motivated. I'm gonna say small agree. Small agree. I'm still working on the motivated part, but generally, if I'm there for something, I'm definitely all in. I'm super into it. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. Ooh, winning a debate matters less to me. I might have to go with small, medium disagree on that. I don't. Sometimes it depends, right? All these are like a depending kind of thing. Like, if somebody's got the wrong idea, I don't care if they get upset. I'm gonna tell them what the truth is. So you often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. Yeah, kind of a lot. Okay, let's go with that. Yeah, kind of a lot. Kind of a lot. Your homework and environments are quite tidy. I'm gonna go with medium agree. I mean, right now, next to me, there is literally a pile of Diet Coke cans. But I do have like a recycling box that I put them in and stuff. But, you know, I usually let them pile up a bit and then clean them off my desk. So it's kind of nasty. But I never make sure I have less room than I need to work, right? That's my whole thing, is if that little pile of cans gets too big, I'm going to put them in the recycling that's right next to me under the desk here, and then I'll free up the rest of my workspace. So, yeah, your home and work are quite tidy. I'm going to say a small agree. Small agree. I never let the clutter get too big. You do not mind being at the center of attention. Yeah, I don't mind at all. Actually, this depends, but yeah, I don't mind at all. Don't mind at all. You consider yourself more practical than creative. Practical? More practical? I'm gonna go with medium disagree. Medium disagree. I like, actually, you know what? Light disagree, because I enjoy being practical, but also I do have a bit of creativity. So actually, I'm going to go back to medium. I'm going to go with my first gut instinct. First gut instinct. Here we go. People can rarely upset you. I want to say medium agree, because a lot of times I don't care what a lot of people have to say, and it's not them. I agree that people can rarely upset me. Okay, yeah, so a lot of times it's not the people who upset me, it's myself who upsets me. So I'm going to go with agree on that. People can rarely upset me. So here we go. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. Very much agree. If I have to go somewhere, say if I have to take the bus or the train, I know exactly what time I need to be there, what time the train leaves, what time my train will arrive. I plan that stuff out mad crazy. I am never late. I'm not going to be late. Are you kidding me? I'm never going to be late. Is it often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings? It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. Well, I agree or slightly. I'm not trying to pick the center one here. So, agree or disagree. Agree or disagree. Because remember, I might be reading these wrong and not getting exactly what the questions mean, because they're a little flip-floppy, right? They go from like, oh, we're going to be negative. Oh, now we're going to be positive. So let's read it again. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. So, it is often difficult for myself to relate to others' feelings. Well, I mean, it depends. This isn't one of those depends, but I'm going to say slightly agree, especially in today's political climate, because there's a lot of people with a lot of feelings being around, and I can't relate to being so outraged all the time. So, because I think things through, you guys. So it's just, and it's fine. It's fine to be able to feel that strongly for things. Like, I adore people who can feel that strongly for things, but not all the time can I relate to exactly why they're feeling the way they are. So, I'm definitely going to go with slightly agree. Slightly agree. I can understand, though. Here's the thing. I understand why they feel that way. So let's have that. All right? Just know that I understand and can sympathize with those people. Your mood can change very quickly. My mood can change very quickly? Yeah, let's go slightly agree. Slightly agree. I've definitely had some quick mood swaps in my life, that's for sure. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Yes, 100%. I don't care. I really don't care how sensitive you are to a topic. If the truth is the truth, you need to, first of all, your sensitivity should never override the facts. If the fact is something, then yeah, you should take that into account first and then adjust how that makes you feel. You can't always say, well, that makes me feel uncomfortable, so that must be removed or that must be changed. Because the problem with that is that everybody has a different feeling inside of them about something, so you can't base a law around that or a regulation. So yeah, no, the truth should be tantamount over people's feelings. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. I rarely worry about how my actions affect other people. Disagree. I very much worry a lot about how my actions can affect other people. This comes from me being a bully when I was younger. And so, yeah, like back from that whole endeavor, I very much worry what I say and what I do and how it affects other people a lot. So, your work style is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical, organized approach. Random energy spikes, methodical, organized approach. Let's go medium agree. I am definitely, when I get motivated, I will stay on something for overnight. I will work on some of my videos for my review videos. I was up till sometimes 8 a.m. through the night. I would start at like 6 p.m. and work till 8 a.m. trying to get those out for Friday. Oh man. Speaking of that, I'm still working on that. You are often envious of others. Envy? Yeah, I guess. I am a little envious of people at times. I'm not gonna lie. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. This really depends, but yeah, I'm gonna agree. I like chilling by myself. I'm not a big fan of parties. Being able to develop... I'm so not a fan of parties that even some of my good friends when I was in college, I was like, oh, you guys are having a party? Why didn't you let me know? And they're like, well, Derek, you probably wouldn't like it much anyway. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, actually probably right. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. To develop a plan and sticking to it for a project, yeah, agree. You gotta, slightly, let's go medium. But yeah. Actually, no, gut answer. Always go with the gut answer. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every subject, or every project. Yep. Once you develop that plan, you stick to that plan. You don't deviate from the plan. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. I rarely get carried away by fantasies. Slightly agree. I do rarely get carried away with fantasies and ideas, because I was burned too many times when I was younger for that kind of thing, so... You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature. When I do walk in nature, I guess I do get lost in thought. It's, when I go for walks, that's the whole point of it, is to think. So if someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. Yep. Yep. Email not so much, but like text or other, yeah, definitely. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Really? You're gonna make me choose between kindness and intelligence? I would really hope that with intelligence comes kindness, and with kindness comes some sort of form of intelligence. But, I don't want my child to be kind entirely, and I don't want them to be completely intelligent. I would rather see them grow up a bit smarter than a bit more kind, if that makes sense. Only because I would hope that with their intelligence comes the ability to understand people's emotions and the need for such things. So, definitely smarts over kindness. You do not let other people influence your actions. Strongly disagree. I let people influence me all the time. So that is, you do not let other people influence... Okay, so agree would mean that I don't let them. Disagree would mean that I let them. When you sleep, your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. Disagree. I have crazy weird dreams. Sometimes they involve real-life locations, but it's like superpowers, aliens, horror stuff sometimes. Not like nightmares, but just like dark-themed, macabre-esque things. And I can change my dreams, too. If I'm not enjoying a dream, I can just sort of wake up, roll over, go back to sleep immediately, and then my dream has changed. I used to be able to lucid dream very frequently because I used to have nightmares a lot when I was a child, like constant nightmares as a child. So I learned from the actual, Nightmare on Elm Street movies that because Freddy Krueger can control the dreams, I figured I can control dreams too because I'm better than him. Harkening back to that earlier question of do you think you're better than people? So I learned how to lucid dream through Freddy Krueger. That's just weird. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. Strongly disagree. I don't trust people. I don't. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Ooh. I want to go right down the middle with this, but I'm trying to avoid that. Natural improviser? I mean, I'm trained in improv, but I love having my things planned out. I love having things planned out, you guys. I do. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Agree. I try. Actually, let's go medium agree. Because I try to keep my emotions in check all the time. You know what? No, we gut answer. Always gut answer. Remember we said that a few times? Gut answer. Go with the gut answer. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress up or roleplay activities. I used to hate dressing up at all. But I guess more things. I really want to go to a Renaissance fair. Really want to go to one. So I guess slightly disagree for now, but that will change over time. Just be aware of that. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Ooh, yeah, but only a little bit. Not always. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. No, I would... here's the thing. This all really depends on the situation. If there's something important to me, I will come up with a detailed plan. If there's something like just going out hanging with friends, why not wing it, right? Doesn't matter, wing it. So I'm going to say small disagree, sorry. Slightly disagree for that. You are relatively reserved and a quiet person. I disagree. I am not. I am bold and brash and in people's faces sometimes. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. Yep, 100%. If they are loyal and they've done good work for me, right? I'm going to try and see if I can't pick them up first, right? Get them their performance back up. But if they can't, right? But everybody deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves, just because you underperform a little bit, right? You gotta... Man, okay, there's my answer for that one. I'm not going to get into philosophical details about that. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Sometimes. Sometimes I wonder why people are here. Why are we here? I don't know. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. Oh boy, because I want to follow my heart so much, but I also know that sometimes you have to go with the logical answer first before you can do that. So, medium agree. Sometimes you have to go with the logical answer before doing what your heart says is right. It's just it. Sometimes your brain needs to tell because your heart can be so misguided, and so can your head too, but damn does your heart ever misguide you if it's on a terrible, terrible path. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. Slightly disagree. I like having a little bit of a list. I like having a day-to-day plan. Sometimes I plan my weeks out in advance. Like, I'm going to go see my friends this day. I'm going to go see my friends that day. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. I do both. I do both. I try and figure out if there's any way that they could maybe deal with their problem. Then if not, I'll console them. But yeah, I guess let's go medium for that because... Yeah, my first instinct is to help try and deal with their issue. You rarely feel insecure. Yeah, I feel insecure quite a bit. A lot of times, actually. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. Agree. I have no issues coming up with a timetable. Once I put my mind to a timetable like before, right? Once got a plan, stick to the plan. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. Oh, only slightly agree. Because if people are going to do something incredibly, incredibly wrong, they need to know they're going to do it incredibly, incredibly wrong. And they need to get off of that. Remember, teamwork only really helps if everybody's going to... The final product is going to be what needs to be done. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. Disagree. Yeah, I disagree. Sorry, I don't care. I know there's the memes on the internet with the vaccines and the flat Earth. No, sorry, no, no. Fact. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Very, very much. I am what I call myself an energy vampire. I am very happy being an introvert, but when I am extroverted, I get a buzz. Like I get buzzed. Like I get energized from being around people. You frequently misplace your things. Nope, never. Hey, I clicked that. I clicked that, sir. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Slightly disagree. I'm still working on it though. Still working on it, but slightly disagree. Actually, hold on, because that's the old me. I want to go with the old me, because I am a little more stable than I used to be, because I'm seeking the help and whatnot. So I'm going to be a little bit more positive and not necessarily harp on my negative self, because I am a little bit. I mean, I would pick myself right in the middle, but since we're not going for the middle, I'm going to say a little more emotionally stable. I'm going to take that as in the mental health route and not the I just fly off the handle. Actually, hold on. Emotionally stable means I don't flip-flop from each emotion so easily, right? I usually have a calm demeanor. So let's go with my first answer. Gut answer. Gut answer. It always comes back to that gut answer. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Agree. I always have ideas. I'm the idea guy. Like, I have ideas. You would not call yourself a dreamer. Disagree. I'm a huge dreamer. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. No, I'm actually pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at talking in front of a lot of people. Now, I used to be terrible. This used to be a huge agree. This used to be 9 extra points into agree, but not so much anymore. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. Ooh, being the idea guy, I kind of rely on having a lot of outs of situations, not necessarily, my experiences. But, so I'm going to go with slight disagree. Slight disagree. I like using my imagination to solve things. You worry too much about what other people think. Yup. I do. I'm a terrible person for that. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. Yes, so very much so. I am definitely a wallflower. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is not enough time to do everything. No. Sometimes, but not as much anymore. I procrastinate, but I don't procrastinate so much as to it hurts the overall work efforts. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Medium disagree. Medium disagree. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Yeah, I mean, somebody who's driven by love, like completely by love, yeah, it is. I would not. I've had power, because I've been the bully. I've had power. It didn't make me happy. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things. Example, in books, art, or movies. Yes. Yes, I have. Much so. I mean, growing up, being the video game nerd was not a thing. Like, I was just at the end of that whole era. Like, video games were just becoming popular. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon! I know it's Pokemon, but I like saying Pokemon, because that's how we used to say it to annoy people. The Pokemon fan #1 was an insult in our playground. You often take initiative in social situations. Nope. I do not. Definitely do not take initiative in social situations. That is not a thing. I do. Actually, you know what? I'm trying. So here's the thing. That's my gut answer, but I know the logical thing is I have actually been trying more often to be more assertive, like more outwardly towards people in social situations, to hopefully make more friends or more acquaintances. So we're going to go with the medium. I disagree, because I have been trying. So I am the architect. Ooh. And of course, I am half and half introverted, extroverted. Of course, I knew that was going to happen. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. Look at that, 51 and 49. Energy, intuitive, or observant. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. Nature. I'm a thinking nature over a feeling nature, very much so. The trait that determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. Tactics. This trait reflects approach to work, planning, and decision-making. Judging or prospecting. I am a judger. That is, yep, I'm a judgy. Identity, turbulent or assertive. This trait underpins... Let's see, I can't really read that one. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. Yeah, maybe not. So let's start reading, shall we? I am an INTJ. Or, I guess what we could say is I'm an I/ENTJ because I am almost equally assertive and equally introverted. So I'm an IENTJ. The architect personality. It's lonely at the top, and being one of the rarest and most strategically capable personality types, architects know this all too well. Architects form just 2% of the population, and women of this personality type are especially rare, forming just 0.8% of the population. It is often a challenge for them to find like-minded individuals who are able to keep up with their relentless intellectualism and chess-like maneuvering. People with the architect personality type are imaginative yet decisive, ambitious yet private, amazingly curious, but they do not squander their energy. I mean, because I'm coming off of a lot of things, right? This is more true than not, but yeah, once I probably get back into everything, that's going to be more true than I like to admit. It seems like I try and actually fight that a lot. It seems like I fight with this a lot, being like, no, I can't be this way. I have to be more fluid. But yeah, I guess I fight with that a lot. Nothing can stop the right attitude from achieving its goal. With a natural thirst for knowledge that shows itself early in life, architects are often given the title of bookworm as children. While this may be intended as an insult by other peers, they more than likely identify with it and are even proud of it, greatly enjoying their broad and deep body of knowledge. Architects enjoy sharing what they know as well, confident in their mastery of their chosen subjects, but they prefer to design and execute a brilliant plan within their field rather than share opinions on uninteresting distractions like gossip. You are entitled to your opinion. You are entitled to your informed opinion. No one is entitled to be ignorant. Ooh, that's so much like me. A paradox to most observers. Architects are able to live by glaring contradictions that nonetheless make perfect sense, at least from a purely rational perspective. For example, architects are simultaneously the most starry-eyed idealists and the bitterest of cynics, a seemingly impossible conflict. But this is because architect personalities tend to believe that with effort, intelligence, and consideration, nothing is impossible, while at the same time, they believe that people are too lazy, short-sighted, or self-serving to actually achieve those fantastic results. Oh, no. That is how I think of myself so much. Yet that cynical view of reality is unlikely to stop an interested architect from achieving a result they believe to be relevant. Yeah, oh my god, that hurts. That's me. That's how I think of myself. I don't think of too many others like that. At least maybe not right now, but oh man, that's how I think of myself. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. Architects radiate self-confidence and an aura of mystery, and their insightful observations, original ideas, and formidable logic enable them to push change through with sheer willpower and force of personality. At times, it will seem that architects are bent on deconstructing and rebuilding every idea and system they come into contact with, employing a sense of perfectionism and even morality to this work. Anyone who doesn't have the talent to keep up with the architect's processes, or worse yet, don't see the point of them, is likely to immediately and permanently lose their respect. Ooh! Yep. Yep. Rules, limitations, and traditions are anathema to the architect personality type. Everything should be open to questioning and reevaluating, and if they see a way, architects will often act unilaterally to enact their technically superior, sometimes insensitive, and almost always unorthodox methods of ideas. This isn't to be misunderstood as impulsiveness. Architects will strive to maintain rational no matter how attractive the end goal may be, and every idea, whether generated internally or soaked in from the outside world, must pass through ruthless and ever-present "is this going to work?" filter. Oh my god, I say that phrase, so wait, is this even going to work? I mean, should I even be doing this? Oh man. This mechanism is applied at all times to all things and all people, and this is often where architect personalities run into trouble. One reflects more when traveling alone. Architects are brilliant and confident in bodies of knowledge they have taken the time to understand, but unfortunately the social contract is unlikely to be one of those subjects. Yup. White lies and small talk are hard enough as it is for a type that craves truth and depth, but architects may go so far as to see many social conventions as downright stupid. Not true. I'm good at small talk. I like small talk. I understand. Well, here's the thing. I understand the necessity for small talk. Oh my God! Just listen. Go replay that sentence. Replay that sentence and understand why that's me. I understand the necessity for small talk. It's not that small talk is not useful. Small talk is, I'm just gonna stop right there. That is just burying the hatchet even deeper, even deeper. So where were we? Ironically, it is often best for them to remain where they are comfortable, out of the spotlight, where the natural confidence prevalent in architects as they work with the familiar can serve as its own beacon, attracting people, romantically or otherwise, of similar temperament and interests. Architects are defined by their tendency to move through life as though it were a giant chessboard, pieces constantly shifting with consideration and intelligence, always passing new tactics, strategies, and contingency plans, constantly outmaneuvering their peers in order to maintain control of a situation while maximizing their freedom to move about. This isn't meant to suggest that architects act without conscience, but to many other types, architects' distaste for acting on emotion can make it seem that way, and it explains why many functional villains and misunderstood heroes are modeled after this personality type. So we've got Samantha Power, architects you may know, Christopher Nolan, Colin Powell, Elon Musk, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Vladimir Putin. Oh man, I don't want to be... Michelle Obama, Friedrich Nietzsche, Walter White, Peter Baelish, Littlefinger. Oh, Littlefinger. Tywin Lannister. See, there's Gandalf right there. Look at that. We called it earlier. Gandalf. Yennefer of Yennefer, the Witches series. Katniss Evergreen. There we go. Strengths and weaknesses. Let's go to strengths and weaknesses here. But remember, these might only be... Some of these are slightly off, but that's because we're so split down the E and the I that they could be... It could go either way, right? Could go either way. The architect's strengths and weaknesses. The strengths: quick, imaginative, and strategic mind. High self-confidence. Independent and decisive. Hardworking and determined. Open-minded. And a jack of all trades. Interesting. I'm not gonna bother reading through all of those because the little blurbs really give you just the snippet that you need. If you'd like to read them, go ahead, pause the video as I'm scrolling down bit by bit here, and you can read each little individual one if that interests you, of course, right? And the architect weaknesses: arrogant, judgmental, overly analytical, loathe highly structured environments, clueless in romance. Oh my lord, arrogant, judgmental, clueless in romance. I'm just going to read clueless in romance because that's just, I want to. This antipathy to rules and tendency to overanalyze and be judgmental, ever arrogant, all adds up to a personality type that is often clueless in dating. Having a new relationship last long enough for architects to apply the full force of their analysis on their potential partner's thought processes and behaviors can be challenging. Trying harder in the ways that architects know best can only make things worse, and it's unfortunately common for them to simply give up the search. Ironically, this is when they're at their best and most likely to attract a partner. Wow. You just don't try. Architect personality and emotions. Architects are defined by their confidence, logic, and exceptional decision-making, but all of this hides a turbulent underbelly, their emotions. The very notion of emotional expression is synonymous with irrationality and weakness to many architects, a display of poor self-governance and fleeting opinion that can hardly stand up to the enduring light of factual truth. People with the architect personality type take pride in remaining rational and logical at all times, considering honesty and straightforward information to be paramount to euphemisms and platitudes in almost all circumstances. In many ways, though, these qualities of coolness and detachment aren't the weapons of truth that they appear to be, but are instead shields designed to protect the inner emotions that architects feel. In fact, because their emotions are such an underdeveloped tool, architects often feel them more strongly than many overtly emotional types because they simply haven't learned how to control them effectively. There is no truth existing which I fear. This is a challenging paradigm for architects to manage, especially younger and more turbulent types who are already less confident than they would likely appear to be. These feelings are contrary to architects' ideas of themselves as paragons of logic and knowledge, and they may go so far as to claim they have no emotions at all. This does not mean that people with the architect personality type should be seen as, nor should they aspire to be cold-blooded and insensitive geniuses living by the mantra that emotions are for the weak. Architects must understand that this isn't the case and isn't ever going to be. Wow, that was me as a child. I have no emotions. When I was a child, when I was very much younger, and I was the bully, I had no emotions. I told people I don't feel anything, right? They were like, "Do you feel bad for hurting this person?" I'm like, "No, I don't feel anything." I would tell them that. As a young child, I would tell them I don't feel anything, right? Except actually, I believe I told one teacher that the only thing I feel is feeling good, and doing this makes me feel good. Other than that, I have no other emotions. I didn't say that last part, but that first part, I definitely said in some sort of form or another. It's been a long time since I said those things, so could be a little off, but I do remember saying that to a teacher or a vice principal. More mature and assertive architects find more useful ways to manage their feelings. While they will never be comfortable with a truly public display of emotions, architects can learn to use them, to channel them alongside their logic, to help them achieve their goals while seemingly contradictory. This can be done in several ways. Firstly, architects are goal-oriented with long-term ideas founded on sound logic. When something does cause an emotional reaction, good or bad, that energy can be used to further those goals, aiding rational and predetermined plans. Secondly, emotions are figurative canaries in the coal mine, indicating that something is off even though logic can't see it yet. These feelings can help architects use their logic to ask questions they may not have thought to ask. This is upsetting. Why? What can be done to resolve it? Oh my freaking... sometimes I'll tell people that I don't feel right, and they'll be like, why? And I'll be like, I don't know. I need to think about it for a while. I can feel off. I feel emotions that are different, and I'm just like... And they're like, well, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. Question with boldness. In this way, emotions are not architects' way of addressing a decision, but rather an indication that a decision needs to be addressed. Architects' personality's thinking trait acts as a protective big brother to their feelings trait. Seeing that something has upset the less able sibling, it steps in to take action, letting logic do the talking and resolving the condition rather than complaining about its consequences. There comes a time, though, when logic is simply the wrong tool for the job, when there just isn't a rational solution to a problem. And it is in these situations that architects must use their feeling F trait most clearly. Architects would do well to practice this from time to time, or at least be aware of it, because however they may try, it is impossible to truly separate emotion from decision-making process. The fact is, architects do feel, and deeply, and this makes them better, not worse. So I won't go into the romantic relationships, but one thing I do want to do is I want to find out what the ENTJ means. I would like to know what the ENTJ is. So let's go to personality types. And let's find the ENTJ. Oh, the ENTJ is the commander. So I'm not going to go through the whole commander type, but we'll just read a little bit about it. So, commanders are natural-born leaders. People with this personality type embody the gifts of charisma and confidence and project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. However, commanders are often also characterized by an often ruthless level of rationality, using their drive, determination, and sharp minds to achieve whatever they've set for themselves. Perhaps it is best that they make up only 3% of the population, lest they overwhelm the more timid and sensitive personality types that make up much of the rest of the world. But we have commanders to thank for many of the businesses and institutions we take for granted every day. Happiness lies in the joy of achievement, cultivating the science of human relationships, let's see what else we have here. Strengths and weaknesses. We'll just go quick through this. Efficient, energetic, self-confident, strong-willed, strategic thinkers, charismatic, and inspiring. I have been told by some other people that I would make a fantastic leader, and I think this whole journey with me today has been, I think had I not been in such a terrible place in my childhood and not trying to denounce all of these stronger traits, I think I would have been more of these people rather than the split right down the middle that I am. I think I would have been more of these, more keyed in on these. Commander's weaknesses: stubborn and dominant, yeah. Intolerant, yep. Impatient, oh yeah. Arrogant, yep. Poor handling of emotions, oh yeah, you definitely. Cold and ruthless, maybe not so much. And we won't bother going into the romantic relationships. But there we go. We've found out that I am a split between the INTJ and the ENTJ. But this one has the T trait as well. I mean, is there other personality types where you can get like or A/T? Okay, so I'm probably a ENTJ T mode, right? I'm definitely probably the T side, the thinking side rather than the A side, or the thinking side rather than the feeling side. So yeah, thank you for coming along with me on this little bit of a journey into the depths of who I am. Hopefully, maybe you've discovered whether or not I am an actual monster. We'll see. We will see. Because I mean, if I was younger and I saw myself acting this way, I probably would have called myself a monster, which is why the mascot for the channel is a monster. Whoa, full circle, full circle. But thank you all for sticking with me through this crazy endeavor, this brand new thing that I really wanted to try, and it seemed like a fun journey. Please let me know if you take the test. Go ahead, I'll put a link in the description, and let me know what your 4 letters are. You know, your 4 letters with your T or your A at the end. Let me know, and I will see you all on something else, probably back on my gameplay series, but I just wanted to give this a whirl because it seemed really fun, and I wanted to give a little talk and a little insight to the people who've been around for a while, just so you can get to know me just a bit more. Thank you all for sticking with me, and I will see y'all next time. Take care, everybody.